Hey YouTubers, welcome back to Rosie's Reviews. Well, today I'm going to do my very first book review for you, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I love to read, and I'm about to finish up with my master's degree, and I'm going to be able to read a whole lot more pleasurable reading that I can't wait to do. But during my time in school, I've still been reading and trying to read some fiction. I belong to a book club, and that's kind of kept me focused, although I've not read as much as I'd like. Well, the book I'm going to review today is The Girl on a Train by Paula Hawkins. Now, I would show you the book, but I read my books on most of the time, I read my books on Kindle. So I have no prop to show you. But Google it. I'm going to put a link down in the description below on Amazon where you can actually get the book and order it if you're interested in reading it. It's been popular on the top 10 list for a while, and it's quite a thriller. Paula Hawkins, this was her first book she's written, her first novel, and it was very well written, I thought, for a first attempt. Now, many people have compared this book to Gone Girl. They can call it the UK version of Gone Girl because it is set in London. I would say that's a fairly good, accurate description. It is that kind of thriller, but I don't think it's quite as harsh as Gone Girl. I did read Gone Girl, and it's pretty dark in places. And so this book has its moments, but it's not as dark as Gone Girl. But it is definitely a thriller. Now, people have also said that it's hard to put down. Now, I am one of the very few people in the world that can read books and really can put them down. I'm not one of these people that get a book and just can't stop reading it, mainly because I think I just have too much going on in my life to be able to sit and read that much, but I would love to do that. So there's very, very few books that are like that for me. So I'm not the best judge. If that's what you're looking for, is this a book that I can't put down? I've been told by others it is. It definitely is a fast read. The chapters are short, so it's an easy one to pick up and put down. I will say that in the beginning, it caught my attention very quickly, and about halfway through, I was starting to get really confused, and it was hard for me to keep up with all the characters, which I'll talk about in a moment. But then about 80% of the way through the book, all of a sudden it kind of hit its stride, and then I really wanted to continue reading and finishing it. So that's kind of how my journey went through the book. Well, the book actually focuses on a main character by the name of Rachel, and she travels the train every day, and she passes by houses on a street where she used to live. In the beginning of the book, she is looking at people in their yard, and she's kind of imagining who they are, and she's named this couple Jason and Jess. It really reminded me of how, when you go to the mall and you just sit there and you people watch and you start to make up stories about people. Well, this is what Rachel did on the train. And so that's kind of what she did every day that she traveled the train. The street that she was passing by was the street near the house that she used to live with her ex-husband, Tom. And so she was very fascinated by what was going on in that neighborhood. Her ex-husband still lived on that street, and so she was a little connected to it that way. She was very obsessed with this couple, so much so that she gave them these fake names because their actual names were Megan and Scott, and you find that out as you read on in the book. Now, Rachel, there's multiple characters. Rachel is probably the main character, and then of course this Jason and Jess, who actually are Megan and Scott, and then her ex-husband Tom is also a character in the book, and Tom's new wife, Anna. So those are kind of the main characters in the book. There's other characters that'll play into the story, but those are the kind of the main ones. And when Rachel and Tom were married, and she reflects back on this time, they couldn't conceive, they couldn't have a child, and that's part of the problem of why they ended up being divorced. Well, not really, but sort of. They started to hit troubles, and Rachel began to drink. And you can tell in the book she's very much an alcoholic. really what happened was Tom ended up having an affair with a woman by the name of Anna, who she ended up marrying. So he ended up marrying. So Rachel kind of drowned her sorrows in alcohol, and this is kind of where she is. She's living with a friend. She was fired from her job. I mean, just kind of in a bad way. So a lot of the beginning of the book is Rachel telling the story. Now, in the midst of the plot, Megan, which used to be Jess at the beginning, Megan disappears, and a lot of the book is consumed with what's happened to Megan and where is she. Now, there's a lot of flashbacks because the chapters begin to then talk from different perspectives. You'll see a chapter from Rachel, a chapter from Megan, and Megan will flash back to before she disappeared. The chapters have like dates on them, so you can kind of, if you keep up with that, you can tell where we are in the story, in their life. And also Anna. So really the three women are the main kind of perspectives that the book is written from. And Anna really loathes Rachel. She can't stand her. Mainly because when Rachel gets drunk and she'll call Tom, and Anna just wants to have a nice little picket fence life with her and Tom, and they actually do have a child. So that's, kind of Anna's way to say, hey, we've moved on. So it's really kind of sad, to be quite honest. We go back and forth between all these different perspectives through the book, and that's really around the middle of the book where I just kind of got a little worn out behind all of it. I mean, I was trying to piece together to solve this mystery that you will find out when you read the book. And I was having a hard time keeping all of it straight because I was trying to figure it out as I go, not just reading it and taking in the information. So I think that's what kind of made it slow down for me in the middle. I think also that the book was very sad. First of all, let me just back up and say, any book that has foul language, I'm not a fan. I'll read it, but I'm like, people, we got a whole world of vocabulary that could be used here. Why do we have to use such language? Be beautiful in your writing. Don't be offensive. So that's one thing. The other thing is, Rachel deals with alcoholism, and it's a real thing, and people deal with it. It's just really, really sad. You see, a relationship between Anna and Tom that came out of an affair. I just find that horrible. I just feel like it's very sad all the way around. You'll learn about Megan and Scott and their relationship, and there's some, sad things about that. There's a couple of tragic events in Megan's past that she flashes back to. And so that you kind of learn about that, which also plays into, what happened to Megan. She's disappeared. So a lot of that kind of stuff. The ending of the book, which of course I'm not going to give it away. Like, I'm being very vague about what happens because honestly, to tell too much means I'm probably going to end up telling you, the end of the story. The ending was very much written like a movie scene. I felt like it was very visual. I felt like I was right there watching this happen. I thought it was really well done. And it did give me the resolution that I needed. You want to know at the end of the story the answer to the question. And I won't even allude to what the question is, but you want to know the answer to the mystery. And sometimes you get to end of books and they don't really resolve it. Well, this book did. And so I was very happy about that. And I think that, the author did a really good job of tying some things together at the end. I think that she did a very good job of really developing some of the characters. I felt like I really knew the characters well. And that's a big seller for me. If the book's characters are blah, I don't really want to stick with it. So her characters really kept me engaged. And I thought the interesting theme through the book, and this isn't giving anything away, is that she really worked on the aspect of human knowledge, that the idea of memory and imagination can sometimes get confused. So think about what I said at the beginning of the book when Rachel thinks, she names these people Jason and Jess, when in reality their names are Scott and Megan. And that's kind of where it begins, and memory gets confused with imagination. So that's kind of a theme in the book, and she kind of plays on that trend pretty well. I don't want to say this isn't what I would call a psycho thriller or anything like that, where it's playing with your mind, doing mind games. But I think it does show what our human mind can do when we allow our imagination to take over reality. Like I said, the ending, I was pleased with the way it ended. I felt like I had a good resolution. I will say that personally, the book, when there's things that will come out in the story when it resolves in the end, and I can't really tell you that without ruining the book. But there are things that come out in the story that I felt like were just a very sad example of humanity. Now, we are all sinners. We all have a past. We all have issues. And I get that. But I feel like it really showed how easily that people can be persuaded by people that lie and don't tell the truth. And in my own life, I've had that happen, but that's not in the extent of what happens in this book, but we all have had that. We've all had people that have not been honest with us that we really truly believed. And so it really brought that part of humanity out. And that's probably the part that I thought on the most from this book, was just how deceived that many of the characters were by a certain person in the story. And it really that's really what stuck out to me in the book. So what would I rate this book? Well, I guess I would give it about 3.5 stars, maybe 4 stars. I think I rated on Goodreads a 4-star. It's not a book that I would pick up and read again. I'm glad I read it. It's not, it definitely grabbed me. I definitely was glad I read it, and the ending was great. But there was just that chunk in the middle that it really had me going in all different directions. And I think there were a lot of, like I said, I'm not a big fan of just use of profane language when there's no need, when we are blessed with a wonderful vocabulary. So I didn't really see that was necessary. So overall, I would recommend the book. If you like thrillers, I would say you would like this book. If you like books that are easy to pick up and put down, I would say you would like this book. It's getting close to the time of year where people are looking for beach reads. Now, I don't know if this would be a beach read or not. It's definitely a good light read, as far as, I don't want to say a light read. It's a good read to pick up and put down. So if you're at the beach or at the pool and you want to read a little bit and swim and come back, it definitely lends itself to that. It's not a light story by any means, but it's a pretty quick read, and so I think it would be a great vacation type book if you want to take it with you going on vacation for a nice fictional read. So that is my review on The Girl on a Train. So I'll put down in the description below, I'm going to put down there a link to how you can get the book if you'd be interested in purchasing it from Amazon to read it, either in paperback, hardback, Kindle, whatever. And I'll also put in the comments below, or the description below, how you can follow me on social media, my blog, Instagram, and Twitter. And then in the comments below, I'd love for you all to make comments if you've read the book, what you thought about it. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Were you surprised at the end? I would love to hear some feedback from other readers who've read the book. And if you have a book you'd like me to read and review, put it down in the comment section below. I'm always looking for new ideas of things to review, and books are a great thing. So definitely let me know if that's something you'd like to see me review in the future. All right, well, thanks for joining me today, YouTubers. And go to the library, get yourself a book, and read and expand your knowledge. All right. I'll see you later, guys. Bye.